Can't hear you, Lloyd. Nothing. Yep, yep, I've got my settings right. Nope. Nothing. It's the sound of silence. Oh, I guess I'm hosting now. Well, look at that. Um, New experience for me. Lloyd said he'd be right back. Oh, there he is. You still have the Lloyd mime. There's nothing. And I'm terrible at reading lips. It's 2020, so as you would expect, we're having technical difficulties. So right now, Lloyd's trying to get his microphone figured out. I guess I'm the only one you all can see. So here we are. Um, I wore the same pajamas last year for our Christmas hangout, our last hangout of the year. My name is Olaf, and I like whiskey and warm hugs. I have. I don't know who's out there watching. I hope that this is not nauseating and seeming like a punishment for all of you to just be listening to me and not have Lloyd here. I recently rearranged my study. Oh, he's laughing. He's laughing, but I can't hear him laugh. So I can't hear you. I can't hear you. The Chinese Communist Party in cahoots with the Biden crime syndicate must have man. I can hear Bill.
Hey, I can hear you. I couldn't hear Lloyd.
No, I don't know what's going on with his equipment.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, how are you
doing? I'm doing great. I was backstage in the green room having some of the beer out of the keg.
Beer, very good. This is one that I recently discovered for it is, there we go, Bird Dog Praline Favored Whiskey. It's almost too so that's my beverage for tonight.
Nice.
So,
well, I'm finishing off a 1/6 barrel keg of Shiner. I got an early Christmas gift about a month and a half ago from my wife. It was a 2-tap kegerator. And so
nice.
I bought a quarter barrel, no, a 6 barrel, the skinny ones of Michelob Ultra and one of Shiner Bock. And the Shiner Bock turned out it was a quarter barrel, and I couldn't fit the two of them in there. So I've been drinking Shiner nonstop for like 6 weeks. I could actually lift it up tonight. It's pouring a little slow, but I think I got another week, and then maybe. My brother came to visit, had 3 or 4. My neighbors had a couple. I'm tired of Shiner. I love Shiner, but I'm kind of tired.
It's good stuff. I would get tired of the Mick Ultra before I would get tired of the Shiner Bock, though.
Well, the plan was to have two, something nice and light and
Oh,
domestic, and then something a little darker. And so the last keg that we had was at my wedding, and it was a keg of Shiner. So I told my wife, "Hey, I'll get a keg of Shiner. It'll be like, reliving our wedding almost 11 years ago now." And she's had none of it. I thought maybe she'd drink some of it, but she had none. And yeah, so when I got sick of one, I can go to the other, and yeah, I haven't been able to do that yet. So
you're reliving the memories all by yourself.
yes. Yep.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be hosting now, since Lloyd is
Lloyd
he
has
must
lost
have,
his voice.
yes, he must have muted himself. This might be the greatest disaster in armed Lutheran radio history. No, can't hear you, Lloyd.
No, we've had quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're getting the finger again. And I always go, man, I wish I didn't have just an iPhone to do this on, but it works.
It works pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, the audio is fantastic.
Yep.
I always use my laptop for this. But so since we can't hear Lloyd at all, I guess just you and I can talk for now.
Okay.
I've got a question for you. How has it been, since you work in law enforcement? How has it been in your neck of the woods since everything started way back in March, after the George Floyd death?
Well, the first weekend of riots in Dallas, I was downtown and was in the middle of all that. Those were some long days. We've had protests pretty much almost every day until about September, the end of September, early October. And then they kind of dwindled off into nothing. And now if they have them, I don't even think we show up. So I don't have any problem with people protesting. I wish I could. There's lots of things I'd like to protest.
Yeah.
Especially with current events. But I'm not allowed to do that. It's been, I'll say this, Dallas has not been as near as bad as a lot of other cities. I have friends that live up in the Northwest, and I can't even imagine being in law enforcement up there. Oh, no, he still
nothing. Oh, and I have to be done at 9:30, so because I'm in my study and my daughter's bedroom is right upstairs, and that's her bedtime. So
yeah,
yeah, I've been praying for all of you out there on the front lines. But yeah, I'm sure it's better in Dallas than it is in some place like Portland or Seattle.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy up there. It's it's just one of those things. I hate to say it. April will be 20 years for me, and it seems like there's always something in the last 20 years, every couple of years or so, where people will get on the "we don't like police" bandwagon, and we get lots of people saying stuff to us and this and that. The funny thing is, when that happens, it doesn't take long for a lot of the regular folks to kind of come up to you and say, "Hey, we're praying for you, and you guys need anything, or can I buy your dinner," or something like that. I mean, they kind of come out of the woodworks too. But so
yeah, it's the silent majority is becoming not so silent anymore, it seems. You see a lot more, Blue Lives Matter signs in people's yards nowadays than you used to. And hey, love it. You see a lot of bumper stickers. That exact bumper sticker, seen a lot more of those on vehicles nowadays.
Yeah.
One of my church members, she organized a drive for bottled water, blankets, all sorts of stuff for those in the National Guard and the police officers that were having to deal with all the insanity up in Minneapolis. That's just 100 miles from here.
Yeah.
But looking at, and I don't know what your take is on this, looking at just history in general in the country. Oh, hold on. Lloyd said, I think Brave is killing my audio access. It could be if you're using Mac OS. make sure that under the microphone settings in your under security settings and access, that it's allowing Brave to have access to your microphone. Otherwise, download Chrome real quick and use Chrome because it's not a problem. Anyway, our country goes through cycles, these political cycles. When we think back at what it was like in the 80s, or not the 80s, back in the 60s, you had all the protests over Vietnam. That's when the term of referring to police officers as pigs first really seemed to gain popularity and that sort of thing. And then things kind of waned. You think of the Gulf War, how there, public support for those within the military as well as law enforcement seemed to improve a bit. So we are certainly in the dregs of this current cycle, but I'm really hoping and praying that we're on the upswing to a more positive political atmosphere in our country. So what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you. It kind of comes and goes in waves, and it's crazy to me to think how I remember I kind of grew up in the 80s, and everybody would say, oh, the 80s are going to, in the 90s, oh, the 80s are going to come back, the 80s are going to come back. And I was like, what? And that's kind of really what it is. The 60s and the 80s and the 20s are all, it's crazy how very similar things, like you could see a lot of things today that the way people are dressing and acting and things they're saying that you saw in the 80s and in the 60s. And probably, back further. I mean, that's just my frame of reference, being born in the 70s. So it's interesting how like things cycle like that. And,
it is. Yeah.
It's that. And what makes it even more crazy now is with, all the different politics and everything gets, instead of people kind of going towards the middle of the road stuff where they kind of did in the 90s and the early 2000s, everybody is, on polar opposites, and they're, there's not a whole lot of moderates right now. And I think it's just a matter of time before, a different generation goes, hey, everybody needs to get along. Everybody needs to just, do what they need to do and stop messing with other people. And it's really funny how because that's kind of the mentality that I kind of grew up with in the 80s was, I mean, my parents are, God, can't even call them boomers. They were born in the 30s. So, I mean, my parents were the type of parents that were like, they didn't want anything that we were doing as a family to bother or affect anyone else. It wasn't where people are now, where they're like, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, and I don't care if it bothers you. It was the complete opposite. So
right. Or even worse, if it bothers you, I'm going to, physically or verbally assault you.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the 80s too. I don't know. I think you might be, we might be about the same age. You might be a little bit older. I graduated high school in, 48. I don't know. You're 48?
Yeah.
So yeah, you are just a few years older than I am. I graduated high school in 96. I was a freshman when they had the Los Angeles riots.
Yeah.
And we lived about 15, 20 miles from downtown Los Angeles. And, here in the suburbs in the San Fernando Valley, there was looting going on even where we lived, and they had to close things down. And I think we were out of school for a whole week, which when you're a freshman in high school, you kind of don't mind having a whole week off of school. But back then there was really this, after things died down, there was this unifying spirit of, well, we're never going to let the worst come out in us again. And it only took, 24 years for that to change. So
yeah, people forget.
Not 24, 28 years, because I think that was 92. Yeah. They do. And I look at how the media and academia have been, I think, very very much influential in this, where it seems to be they're the instigators in so much. If you agree with them, then you've become part of that quote unquote radical left faction. And for the rest who are sane, they say, well, wait a minute, none of that makes any sense. You mean only white people can be racist? That sounds like kind of a racist thing to say. And then suddenly you find yourself drifting more towards the conservative spectrum of the political world. And
let's try this again.
Hey,
I hear something.
He speaks.
Oh my goodness. How is everyone? You still can't hear me?
Can hear you now. Yeah, no, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I hear
your camera froze for a second.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's been one of those nights, one of those days. Okay, enjoying the conversation though. Thank you for keeping it going while I was noodling around with my browser. Apparently, it was the permission settings for some reason. And it actually, I think it was the iOS, the new upgrade to the new iOS, because as soon as I opened Chrome, I got the exact same. I got a warning that said that that Chrome didn't have permission to use my camera or my microphone, but at least it warned me and let me change it before it got me into the studio. Brave didn't do that.
But you know, I've noticed that some apps will ask you and other apps won't, and you have to manually go in and change those settings. So
yeah. So my apologies to you guys and to everyone watching. Sorry about that for the craziness and the delay. Thank you for kind of filling the the dead air. And
I'm glad Bill came on because you know, I was just going to grab the nearest book and start reading, and you know, you would have lost the whole audience by then.
All right. Well, let's see. So we got Christmas coming up, and you guys have got you've got fun stuff. Let's see if I can find the camera. So we're all imbibing tonight. Yes.
Non-work day.
I think your OS was imbibing as well.
Yeah, I must have spilled something into the laptop. Christmas coming up. We're just what 13 days away or something like that. I know, Pastor, you've got to head out a little bit early, so let's start with you. What Christmas traditions for the Bennett family, and what's and then give us a little idea what happens at St. John Willow Creek.
Well, as far as Christmas traditions, it kind of depends on the year. Last year, we had my wife's brother and his family come out, and they stayed with my in-laws, and it was quite chaotic. I don't think any of my relatives watched this, so I'm safe to say this. My sister-in-law's crazy.
Let's hope she's not watching.
It was it was madness, to say the least. Last year she got completely wasted on Christmas Eve before they even got to the church for the service, and just see me. If I have too much to drink, I'm a jolly old fool. Her not so much. So it was But anyway, so usually what we do when things like that don't happen is my in-laws will stay the night. They'll come for the Christmas Eve service, watch the kids. You know, they'll have supper with us. We'll all go to bed that night, and they'll spend Christmas Day with us the next day. And they want to do that so that they can see the kids open their presents and all that. Because it's either that or we be Grinches and tell our kids, sorry, we're not opening gifts until we get to Grandma and Grandpa's house, which won't be until about 11 o'clock because, we got church at 9, and by the time we get home and get ready, So that's what we like to do. This year, I don't think it's going to happen because my father-in-law's health, it's not the best.
Right.
I think I mentioned all this on the wish list episode. We're hoping and praying that they'll feel comfortable enough to get together with us. We'll have to see what happens. So at St. John's Willow Creek, we have our kids' Christmas Eve service where the Sunday school kids do the majority of the service. I get up there and I preach for a little bit and that sort of thing. It's, as I jokingly say, I get paid pretty good for a guy who works one day a week, but I don't get paid extra for Christmas Eve. So, I'll let the kids do most of the work. And we have Christmas Day service as well. So I get to slow down a little bit after Christmas Day, and life gets a little more relaxing for a brief time. And then you get, a few months later, then you have Lent, where it's just as much busyness, but it's 2 weeks longer than Advent and Christmas.
Gotcha. Bill, how about you?
Christmas traditions?
Yeah.
Well,
for you and Mrs. or Sergeant Mrs. Sergeant Bill and the kids.
Well, we usually like to spend time with family, but unfortunately, my family's all gotten sick in the last few weeks. So my sister and her husband have gotten corona in the last 3 weeks.
Oh.
A couple weeks before that, my brother and his wife. So my parents are in their 80s. So we haven't really been visiting them very much. Haven't really seen them. I've been talking to them on the phone, but we don't, like, normally we would probably spend Christmas Eve at their house and, and then maybe go visit my in-laws for a while and Christmas Day, the same thing. This year, it's probably not happening. So it won't be as traditional as normal, but, we'll still have family time and we'll probably go to my in-laws because we keep our distance from everybody there, and we all, we do all the
keep
stuff.
Your distance from the in-laws.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's probably not a bad idea.
They have a big house, so.
Gotcha. Now, do you guys open presents Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or both?
We do like one on Christmas Eve and the rest Christmas Day, depending on work schedules. Because in the past, we've had work schedules where we've had Christmas up to like 4 or 5 days later.
Oh, yeah.
So it just depends on how it goes. So my wife's actually on the day shift. She works like 6 to 2, whereas I work like 2 to 10 p.m. to p.m. So it's a little bit different, but than it has been in past years. But we're making it work. It's all good. Hopefully, I only got a couple more years left.
Fingers crossed.
Really, yeah.
And the kids have learned to kind of roll with the punches.
Oh yeah. So I got good kids. They're used to the craziness. So even like tonight, I got a message and I'd almost completely forgot about this, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got this thing tonight." And my wife and my daughter are out on horseback doing Christmas parades in Canton, Texas right now.
Nice.
So I think they're done by now, but they've been doing that the last few weekends, and so my son and I have been having boys' day at home, and I was just like, "Hey, I got a thing to do." Blah blah blah. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go play video games." Done deal.
Well, bring him on in a little bit and have him say Merry Christmas to everybody if he wants to. I mean,
yeah,
because my daughter is dying to do the same. So, John, you guys open presents for the kids Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, a little of both. What's
We do Christmas Eve. It's not terribly exciting for the kids. They get to open one gift, and it's always the same. They get pajamas. Not the same pajamas, of course, but
just keep wrapping them up.
Here's your pajamas. Now go to bed.
That's it. So they get pajamas, and then they also get a movie. So
put them on
DVD and pajamas. And we're done. I have another service to do after that. Yeah, it'd be nice to tell them just to go to bed after that. It'd be Merry Christmas to me if we can get them to bed by 7 o'clock, but that's not going to happen. So church at our church is done by 6 or so. I have to go do another service at 6:30. So I don't get home till, close to 8 o'clock, which by that time they're done watching the movie, and kiss them goodnight and tell them to get their butts to bed. So that's usually how it goes. And then we leave the majority of the presents. We still have 2 kids of the 3 that believe in Santa Claus. Maybe it's closer to 1.5 because Elizabeth, she's 11, or she's going to be 11. Is that right? No, she's 11. She'll be 12. So by 12, if you still believe, it's kind of a Christmas miracle. So
yeah,
I wasn't allowed to believe in Santa Claus.
Oh,
I was told by my mother from the time I could even remember that There's no such thing as Santa Claus. All your gifts come from us. So rather than saying from Santa, she would put tags on it that said from Jesus, which was even more confusing because, I mean, Santa, at least, everybody, knows that Santa brings you gifts, and well, Jesus' gift was given on the cross and the empty tomb. And mom and dad, I'm pretty sure you're the one who bought these presents for me. So
that's really confusing. So
yeah.
So what was, now that we've heard how fun your Christmases were as a kid, Bill, what was
I can't remember for sure, but I was probably that little snot on the playground that was telling kids that Santa wasn't real. So there's a good chance that was me.
Oh, so Bill, what was Christmas like for you as a kid? What are fun Christmas or not so fun Christmas memories for you?
It was kind of the same as I mean, we would do when I was little. It was always, Christmas gift, open one on Christmas Eve, and sometimes we'd go singing carols and this and that. Very traditional, really. My brothers and sisters, if they were in town, because they were all older than me, we'd all get together, and any family in town, we'd all get together, and sometimes we'd go to midnight mass, and sometimes we would just, hang out and shoot the bull and tell stories, and it was always nice because I've even from a young age, I've always liked hanging out with family and talking and hearing about everybody's stuff that's going on, and it's always interesting. So, very traditional. Then we'd get up Christmas morning. Parents would be grumbling about how early we would get them up. My kids doing the same thing to me. Open all the gifts, make a huge mess, try to clean it all up, have some breakfast, call the families, and then we'd figure something out to do. We'd always go to somebody's house for Christmas dinner. And so now that I'm married and have my own kids and family, we go to either my parents' house or in-laws, and we do kind of like a second Christmas there. And like her two brothers' families come, and yeah, it's a big ordeal. So it's kind of a crazy day-long thing. So I don't know how they're doing it this year. My wife kind of keeps me in the dark and just feeds me beer and says, "You gonna go shoot a match this weekend?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay,
sure, why not?"
And I just, unless I do like I did today, I was halfway to the range to shoot a match, and I realized, what do I feel like I'm forgetting? What's the one besides your gun and your holster? What's the most important thing you need to have to go to the range?
I ask this question a lot on I've heard this on some podcast. I don't know who.
Did you forget your ammo?
You forgot my ammo. Yeah. So I just happened to be right next door to a donut shop. So I pulled in, I got donuts, and I came home, and everybody was all happy except for me.
That's like, the story in the Gospels of the parable of the wise and foolish virgins. Like, there's no stores, there's stores you can go buy your oil. Well, right now there's no stores where you can go buy your ammo. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Unless you want to pay $1 a round. It's part of the reason that I've thought about getting out and shooting and going to the range, but I don't know that I could focus enough, because every time I'd pull the trigger, I'd be thinking, well, there's $1, and there's $1, and there's $1.
I'm kicking myself because this goes back about 2 weeks. I went to a store. They had a box of 1,000 rounds of 5.56 for $480, and I didn't get it.
Oh,
so, yeah. I because I could be like the guy that would sell loose cigarettes on in front of the drugstores. I could just stand out there, on a corner with here 223 round for $1.
Just put it in a bag.
Yeah.
Lucy's.
I've been joking with my wife that I was going to get some little bitty Ziploc bags and put like 3 rounds of 9mm and bring it to work and go, "Hey guys, you want to go to the range? $10. I got 3 rounds. Come on."
Well, guys, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to have to get going. So
Alrighty.
Merry Christmas to you guys and to everyone out there, and Christ's blessings to you.
Merry Christmas to you and to your family, and looking
Thank you.
forward to the crazy show this weekend. That was a lot of fun. For those who are not members of the Reformation Gun Club and you get to hear it for the first time on Sunday, in re-listening to it and editing it, I laughed every single time I listened through. It was so much fun and it was so funny. The Florida man never ceases to amaze.
If Mia is watching this is just a warning, because she always talks about how she spits out her coffee when she listens to some of the shows.
Yeah.
Don't drink any coffee while you're listening this time.
No, especially when driving.
Well, we'll talk to y'all later. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right. Merry Christmas. All right. So, I've got a guest.
I've got so much more room. Oh,
I can see so much more of you. Hey, I have a guest.
You do.
And this is your cue to go get your guest.
Oh,
If you can peel him away from video game. Let's see if I can. So, hey, you got something you want to say?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart. So this is what are you hoping is going to be under the tree this year?
Presents.
Really? Wow. That was, I never imagined that would, that's exciting. A revelation.
Honestly, I'll just take anything.
Oh, that's even better. Hey, look who is here.
Oh, we're backstage. Oh, we're back. Here we are.
There he is.
Let me crank it down just a little.
There he is. It's Sammy. Hey, Sammy.
Hello.
That's
How
Lloyd.
are you?
Good.
So, what are you hoping is going to be under the Christmas tree this year?
A gaming headset with a microphone.
Oh. Ooh. You think maybe Dad's taking notes back there. So I'm guessing you've been pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. He's been very good.
Yeah. From what I've seen on Facebook, I believe that. So let's see. So how old are you now?
9.
It'll
9.
be 10. What, next month?
Yes.
Yeah, like a month.
Nice.
Almost a month today.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. So
10, and hold on, you ready? We're both standing up. You see this? He's up to here. He's wearing my shoes.
it's amazing. It's amazing how fast they grow up.
They grow so fast. Good Lord.
And Shelby is
How old is Shelby?
8 or 7.
8.
She's 8.
She's 8.
She's 8.
She looks
Okay.
like a 7-year-old.
No, she doesn't. She's one of the tallest kids in her class.
No.
No.
I see another tall kid in her class.
I said not the tallest, but one of the tallest.
One of the tallest.
She's pretty tall for her age. She's only 4, maybe 5 inches shorter than he is.
4 or 5.
4
Yeah.
or 5.
Yeah, you're 4'10", she's 4'5".
Awesome. Awesome. And she's off riding horses, right?
Yep. Christmas parade with mommy. Yep. That'll be their, I think, 3rd or 4th parade. I think it's the 3rd one with Shelby, and Kat did one by herself. Just seeing how her horse would do in the parade with other stuff and craziness, people, and there's all kinds of noise in those parades. So you never know until you get there how your horse is going to react. So
Cool. So what do we do today? Played volleyball?
Oh, yeah. We play volleyball. Well, I play volleyball.
Had your first volleyball game today? You're hiding behind the microphone. Nobody can see you.
It's because I can't hear.
You can't hear. Well, you can hear yourself. You can hear me.
I can?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
oh, I dropped it all the way
And
down.
we put
There we go.
lights up
Yeah.
outside. We have the worst Christmas tree. Like I wrapped a tree in the yard which is like, it looks like the Charlie Brown tree anyway, because it's got no leaves on it. It's just horrible. I can't reach the top of the tree because I only have a step ladder. So it looks like we pulled in at the bottom of the hill because from there coming in the neighborhood, I can see the yard and I can see the lights for the first time. And I knew that was our house because the tree's horrible. It's just, but it's ours. Hey, it's after the year that we've had, just whatever we do is great.
Yeah. We had 3 like lit up reindeer in the front yard last year, and they kept falling over in the wind out here. So my neighbor went out and took some arrows and stuck them into them. So it looked like a hunting shot. We have a horse now that's all lit up, and he's laying in the front yard too. So
can put arrows into him.
No, he hasn't yet, but I'm waiting for him. He will. He will. We got a BB-8 that likes to try and blow away. He staked down pretty good, but he bobbles all over the place. So what else do we have up front?
Some BB-8 and a unicorn.
And a unicorn. That's right.
And a unicorn. Okay.
Yeah. Shelby's into unicorns.
Shelby likes unicorns.
Yeah. Lots of lights and yeah. It's crazy. We let Mommy and Shelby do all that stuff, didn't we? We supervised.
And we've got the tree up, but we have to keep the cat out of the tree.
Yeah, because he keeps climbing in it. He thinks it's like a...
We have a cat for the first time this year.
Oh.
So that's the daily struggle to keep the cat from tearing down the ornaments or eating the tree limbs.
Our puppies used to like to play with the ornaments, so we had to pull them off the bottom. So last year, like the bottom third of our tree didn't have really anything on it. So this year we decided we're going to just leave it with just the lights and a star on top. And we put maybe a couple ornaments, but it's so the dogs they don't even care now. So
I keep expecting the cat's going to end up like the cat in National Lampoon's Christmas, right? Just completely explode and catch the tree on fire.
Yeah.
Well, you've got one more ballistic minute for the year, and then we're done.
I guess so.
So Merry Christmas, my friend. It has been awesome. Thank you so much for everything you do for the show, and
You got it. Glad I could help.
I always look forward to what you put out there and learning a little something new, and thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I can't wait 2021 has got to be better than 2020. So I'm looking forward to getting back out on the range. And
what am I going to do? Get on the range. Come on now.
Just to get out there. Even if I'm not pulling the trigger, just to get out there would be nice. So hopefully that will happen before too long. And
everybody always talks about the ammo and how ammo is and everything. And I started reloading 8 years ago when Obama was on his second term, and everything was scarce and you couldn't find anything. And it lasted about 6 months. Now we've got a little bit different now with COVID and with Remington going out of business and this and that, but give it some time. It'll all come back. So It won't be too bad.
Yep.
And you never know. You might be able to talk me into bringing some extra ammo to the range. I might have a little bit hiding over there somewhere.
I'm down to just Billy bullets is all I've got left at this point, and I'm hoarding them.
My wife and I did a police class. We had to do pistol tactics, and it was all the Paul Howe standards, CSAT, I think they called them.
Right.
And apparently they didn't have any times for them. All they had was instructor times. They were like, we're just going to shoot all these different drills, and y'all try to do your best, and we'll tell you the instructor times, and we don't expect you to meet those. Well, by the end of the day, I kept going, where's my instructor certificate? I'm crushing all these things. Come on. And they were like, man. So we ended up shooting a whole bunch of ammo, and we had a little bit left over too. So we made sure to load our magazines before we left for the day. And
right.
I had 6 and Kat had 10 or 12.
Scrape all that out into the
we were like
buckets at home.
Yeah. we could shoot a match. Yay.
One of you can. Very cool.
Won't be long before this one will be shooting a match with us.
Yep. And you've got a Browning 380, I think.
Yeah. Browning
right?
97 and 380. Yep.
Very cool. So you think you'll get out there with Dad next year? Give it a try.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I can
His
see
hand
that.
is getting big enough. Here, put your hand up. Put this hand up. Look at this.
Won't be
Yeah.
long.
Won't be long. We'll get some 1911 practice in after Christmas because I'm hoping to go do the USPSA single stack nationals. I was gonna go last year in the spring, but then because of COVID, it got pushed off to the fall. Turns out they did on the same weekend of my daughter Shelby's birthday.
That don't work.
I almost went, but I was advised I probably shouldn't. And
That's
she was
probably
right.
not a good idea. Yeah.
She was right. So
Yeah.
this one luckily falls the week after my wedding anniversary in May. So yay, I get to go back to Talladega again. It's a great facility. I don't think I'm
It
driving
is.
this time. That 10-hour and change drive.
That was not fun. That was especially not fun driving in the rain the whole way.
Yeah.
That was especially not fun driving all the way back the next day. And I did it in 2 days. On the way over, I drove and stopped and then finished it the next morning.
That was smart.
Which was smart, but it was still both days were driving in the rain. And then I drove the whole way back after the match. Saturday? I left after the morning session Saturday, and I drove the whole way, 12 hours all the way back. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. And I was by myself. I'm sure you were too.
Yeah.
You know what? I know people that did this the year before, and I'm going to probably do this. You can fly into Atlanta and rent a car, and it's like an hour and a half, 45-minute drive.
It's so worth it.
And it's like an hour, 45-minute, 2-hour flight. So yeah, the flights were cheap. The rental cars were cheap. It was like, why didn't I do this before? But
yeah,
we'll figure it out.
And I imagine next year flights and rental cars will be even cheaper after. Yeah.
Please, we'll give you whatever you want. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they'll be dying for people to.
Yep.
Please
all right.
Some of your money.
I think I'm going to wrap this up just a few minutes early and let everybody get back to whatever they were doing, and we'll go hang out with family. And we usually run this about an hour, but Bennett Pastor had to head out early, and Mia wasn't able to join us. And I was I don't know why I was thinking. For some reason, I was thinking that you were able to make it on Fridays, and your schedule changed again.
Yeah, I've had this whole year, I've had Saturday, Sunday off. So I used to do Fridays because I had Friday, Saturday off, but that changed in, I think, April.
Okay.
So
and then COVID hit, and then I got all screwed up, and yeah, that's what happened. I'm still thinking from your schedule in April. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. Well, from now on, these get-togethers will be on Saturdays so that you can join us.
Yay.
Awesome. So, kids, you want to wish everybody Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Guys, Merry Christmas. Bill, Sammy, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for being here. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you soon.
And to all of you guys who joined us and who join us every month, and to members of the Reformation Gun Club who make the show possible, thank you so much for everything that you do, for your support over this crazy year. Your support has meant so much to us. One thing that, with all the technical craziness at the beginning of the show, I didn't get to mention, and I do want to mention really quick, just to finish up. New book, of course, still time for Christmas. Duty to Defend is available in print and on Kindle, on Amazon. Probably quickest if you're going to get it before Christmas if you order it on Amazon. Although I can get it to you if you want a signed copy. I can get it to you if you order now between now and the 15th. I can probably still get it to you. Get you a signed copy, and just to sort of a little sneak preview, yeah, that's coming. So that will be out soon. Thank you again, Reformation Gun Club members. Thank you again for your support. This coming Sunday, episode 246. I lose track. Episode 246 is a Christmas edition of Preaching to Florida Man. It is one of the funniest shows we have done in years. I laughed. Pastor Bennett stopped breathing at one point. It was one of the funniest shows that we've ever done. I found 4 stories that are both Christmas related. They have a moral component and a self-defense component, and of course, it's the craziness of Florida Man. So hey, it's got to be good, right? So you've got to listen. It's absolutely the most funny episode we've put out all year. Then next episode 247 is our final a variety show episode with our last ballistic minute, our last motivation from Mia, our last pontification from Pastor Bennett, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we've got a special. I'm remixing and remastering the Christmas specials from years past for episodes 248 and 249. Then we're going to take a week off, and then episode 250 will be the first weekend of 2021. It will be a live show, a live roundtable show with the entire cast. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you all for sticking around. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening, and have a great evening. And we will talk to you next time.
Bye.